Ladies and gents, boys and girls, I'm back with another episode of weekly fitness fun and fuckery.
See, I like to take you for dinner and drinks first before we sit your hands in funny cool fashion. I'm kind of a big deal.
Boom. Awesome. Well, welcome to this week's fitness fun and fuckery, and doing something slightly different. I haven't actually prepared anything today. I just want to do a basic Q&A with anyone that comes on. So I'm hoping that some people will show. The reality is, if no one does, it's going to be a very short affair today. So I'm hoping, well, this is going out to YouTube. Obviously, I'm on LinkedIn here. It's going to one of my Facebook groups. It's going to my main Facebook page and my personal page. So there should be a few people coming on live, 5 p.m. Wednesday evening, every single week. If you're coming on, let me know where you're from and drop any comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop any comments in the chat and we'll get to all the questions. All right, someone's on. Hello. Who's that? One person on at the moment. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. And if you've got any questions, I'm going to pop them up on the screen and we're going to answer any questions on fitness, fat loss, mindset, self-limiting beliefs. Flat Earth is a favorite topic of mine. Okay, all right, cool. Here we go. Joel, I'm going to pop you on the screen, my man. You mentioned tracking calorie intake. How do you track how many you burn? Very badly, actually. It's very hard to track them. You can use a few different calorie trackers, Fitbits, all these different items on the wrist, but they're just not very accurate. The reality is they're not very accurate at all. They grossly over exaggerate the actual calories that you burn. So the truth is, I don't. We teach clients, we teach them how to track, and we can do that reasonably accurately, but don't really ask them to track the calories. If someone's losing weight, we know that they're in a calorie deficit. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Or you could, let's say one of those calorie trackers says you burn 500 calories. I would take 10 to 15%, maybe even 20% off, because it will grossly over exaggerate the amount of calories you burned. All right, we've got Arta from Germany. How you doing, Arta? Wunderbar. I can speak a little bit of German, not a huge amount. Actually, most of the German I know is swear words, so we probably won't talk about that on here. But I used to live in Germany, Arta, back in the day. My dad was in the RAF, so we were stationed over there, and I've worked in Germany a lot, so I love Germany. So thanks for tuning in. Got any questions, please let me know. I said there's going to be every Wednesday at 5 p.m. UK time. I think that's midday on the East Coast of America and about 9 a.m. West Coast of America. Other times, other places in the world. So just to let you know, this is going to be a weekly. Next week, we've got a guest. That will be me and a special guest. I'll be giving you details of that at some point. Oh, it's very quiet today. I was hoping there'd be quite a few more people on. All right, we've got Frank. Hi, Frank from Florida. Awesome. Hello, mate. If you're coming into the live late, let me know where you're from. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. And if you've got any questions, please let me know. We're going to talk about fitness, fat loss, mindset, anything in this world, the world of nutrition, anything you want to know, anything that's a bit confusing. Aha, here we go. Carol, let's have a look. Let me pop your question up on the screen. Carol says, what kind of program would you advise for someone who drives all day, gets to the hotel late, and back during the same thing the next day, can't stop as we run the oversized loads? Carol, what are you trying to do? What's the goal? What's the aim? So obviously the goal is, or the program that you do is dependent on the goal. If you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, stay in shape. So let me know what you're trying to do, and I'll tell you. All right, Tyler. Hello, mate. Tyler from San Jose in Cali. We've got Naomi. Naomi from Wisconsin. Naomi was a client of mine, Naomi McDonald. I think, how much did you lose, Naomi, when we worked together, did our 12 weeks together? It's well over 30 pounds, wasn't it? Just in 12 weeks. How you doing? How's things? Good to see you. And we've got, who have we got? We've got Siraj from Bangalore. We've got Jerin. Hello, Jerin. I think you're in India. We've got Carrie in through the back door. Oh, Carrie. That means something a bit different where I'm from. Don't know what it means where you're from. Sorry, I'm being rude. Anyway, good. Nice to have you on. 40 pounds. Look at that. There's me saying over 30 pounds. Naomi, let me just pop that. I'm going to put you. Look at that. Naomi McDonald. Give it up for Naomi. She lost 40 pounds on my 12-week coaching program last year. So well done, Naomi. Fantastic. In 2 programs. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. All right. We've got Eliza. Is Eliza Marie? Eliza Marie. Coming from Connecticut. Go over to checking in. I think you're in the Netherlands, in Holland. Awesome. Nice for you to check in. Nice for you to check in. All right. So Carol, she said about which is the best program to do. Lose weight since started the job, gain a bunch of weight despite my change in eating. Okay. What do you mean by your change in eating? Let me know what you mean by your change in eating, because if you're trying to lose weight, you just simply need to be in a calorie deficit. And the calorie deficit, if you're not sure, you've heard me talk about this before, I'm sure, it means that you're burning more calories than you're taking in. So that's what we need to, you need to start tracking your calories. That would be the first thing I would do. Start tracking your calories. All right, Govitz in Dubai. Agnes, hello again. Awesome. So Carol, hopefully that's answered that question. All weight loss all comes down to the food you put in your mouth. Exercise, yeah, it's important to a certain extent. Keep you nice and healthy, all the things that we know we get from exercise. But if you want to burn body fat, you need to look at your diet first. So I would start tracking your calories and see what's causing you to gain that weight and slowly reduce them. All right. Frank has asked a question. Frank says, I've been experimenting with the process of exercising. It's transformed my body to the point of not having, is that high blood pressure, HBP anymore? Lost 10 pound size in 3 months. Would like to speak with you. Frank, that's awesome. 10 pant sizes in 3 months. That's amazing. Awesome. Look, drop me a private message. Frank, that's the best way if you want to have a chat. Please drop me a message. James Layfield. Hello, Mr. Layfield. You're blotted, are you? James, I'm going to pull that up. I've missed it. Well, James says he's blotted. I think he means bloated. You mean bloated, James? Hello, James. Are you in New York still? Like a big fat piggy. James is an old friend of mine. James is like a big fat piggy. James, you know what to do. Come and see me. I can help you. You know I can. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Right. Okay, we've got new messages coming in. Okay. Just a quick go back to Carol. Carol. Mostly sitting, basically have no time to actually go to the gym. You also need to check it with. Yeah, okay, cool. Focus on the calories. Definitely focus on the calories. Forget the exercise. If you've got no time to exercise, Carol, absolutely start tracking your calories and you'll start to see weight loss from that alone. Okay. Sue has said, what's your view on the Fast 800 and TRE? I'm not sure what TRE is. Tell me what TRE is. I know the Fast 800. Fast 800 is a load of fucking bollocks. That's where you eat 800 calories a day. Now, look, fast can jog on. I did a video on this from Michael Mosley, wasn't it? The video, the online doctor, journalist guy. Look, if you eat 800 calories a day, you're going to lose a ton of weight. Simple as that. You're going to lose loads of weight. But is that the way? Is it sustainable? No. Like, No one needs to be on 800 calories a day. But if you do eat 800 calories a day, you're going to lose weight. So people say, well, I lost loads of weight on the fast 800. Of course you did. You're actually starving. You were starving your body, but it's just not sustainable. So I tell clients or teach clients to, is this something they see themselves doing for long term? And if it's not, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Try working out on 800 calories a day. You can forget that. Elsa. What? Elsa? Oh, from Frozen. Okay, yes. Elsa. Hi, Elsa. Sorry. James says he's in Austin, in Texas. Awesome. James, let's talk, mate. It's been too long. Been a good few years. Good few years since we spoke. Sue, does that answer that question? Don't do the fast 800. Really don't do the fast 800. It's not good, not sustainable. Time restricted eating. So like, I guess intermittent fasting is a version of time restricted eating. Thanks for that. I knew that, but I didn't actually know the acronym. Time restricted eating, I guess, is where you eat between this time and this time. Look, if it helps you get into a calorie deficit, then great. But remember, the only way that you lose body fat is by being in a calorie deficit. So there's 1,000 diets out there. And they all work by one mechanism only, by burning more calories than you're in. So you can eat at 7 a.m. and midnight and nothing in between, or you could eat all your food at midday. You can do one meal a day at 9 p.m. It doesn't make any difference. What matters, Sue, is your calories over the day or over a couple of days or over the week. So it doesn't matter when you take your food in. So time restricted eating is just a fancy way of helping people get into a calorie deficit. And if it helps you, great. But for some people, it doesn't. There is some research that sort of suggests that by limiting that feeding window, it can be good for you long term. But I haven't seen any real long term studies that, I don't know. A lot of the guys that I follow that know a lot more about nutrition than I do don't seem to think it's worth pursuing. But if it works for you, great. All right, Arthur says, what do you think about metabolism diet? Any advice on that? Arthur, explain what you mean by metabolism diet. I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm not sure I understand the question there, mate. Is there a diet called the metabolism diet? I haven't actually heard of that. But yeah, elaborate a little bit more and we'll get into it. Anyone else? Tim. Hello, Tim. Excellent knowledge, Gav. You haven't asked me a question yet. How do you know? I'm only joking. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. I think Tim you might be coming in from Facebook. Or you're on LinkedIn. Sorry, I've got the little sign next to you. You're in from LinkedIn. You're in from LinkedIn. So I've actually I've realized something. Doing this open-ended Q&A is great if there's loads and loads of people coming on. In future, I'm actually going to plan something to talk about, because this ad hoc questions coming in, it's probably not going to work, because there's going to be a lot of periods of time where I'm just going to be sitting here doing nothing. The big guns here. Mr. Gomez is in the house. Hello, mate. How you doing? Big guns. Oh, Paddy. He hasn't asked a question. He's made a statement. He's put Gav with 2 exclamations. Hello, mate. Paddy's on LinkedIn as well. I haven't seen you on LinkedIn for a long time, mate. Aha. Vicky Thompson has asked, hi, Gav, what do you think to Tabata workouts? How long should a session be? I actually put a video up today about the best type of cardio. Was it high intensity or low intensity? Which is the best type of cardio to burn body fat? And I mentioned Tabata because it's one of the toughest high intensity workouts, body weight workouts. I think they're great. Typically, high intensity workout, a pair of exercises. For example, you might do something like jumping squats and press ups, and you do 20 seconds on the first exercise, have a break of 10 seconds, and then do the second exercise for 20 seconds. So 20 on, 10 off, 20 on, repeat 4 times for 4 minutes in total. So that would be one round. So you could do 4 minutes. And what I've done is then given the client or personally maybe 90-second break or even a 2-minute break, and then gone again, and then gone a third time. So maybe 12 minutes of work in about 16 to 20 minutes session time. Any more than that, you could do more, but it's brutal. If you're doing a proper Tabata, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, repeat times 4, is bloody hard work. So that would be my advice. Joshua Miller. Hello, sir. Who is this shaven person? Can you see? Can you see from there? Or are you talking about the trim? Fresh trim. Yeah, lockdown. I had to do it. I had to do it, mate. The shaven person is here. Alma, you're a natural. Keep it up, coach. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Michael Giordano. Okay, here we go. Hope I pronounced your name right there. Let's have a look. Michael. Oh, no. Oops. Wrong one. Sorry. Paddy. No questions. All right. Thanks, Paddy. Michael, aging male, looking to build lean muscle and overcome the age slowdown a bit. You talking to me? Oh, you're talking about yourself? All right. Okay. I thought you were talking to me. Sounds like me. Weight is good, but would like to slim down and lose the love handles. Michael. All right. It's as simple. It's the same advice for everyone. We need to look at your calories. And we need to get you doing resistance training. What type of training are you doing at the moment? And what's your diet? And how many calories are you eating at the moment? So it's a good question. And I know it's relevant to you, but it's very hard to answer that without actually knowing a little bit more of where you're at. So if you really want to know this, Michael, please drop me a message and I'll gladly help you. But the first thing we would do is look at your calories, find out what you're doing. We're probably going to need to increase your protein. Without seeing your diet plan at the moment, probably going to need to increase your protein, build a bit of muscle, and we're going to need to start lifting some heavy stuff off the floor if you're going to build some muscle, that is. Aging male looking to build muscle and overcome the age slowdown a bit. Sounds like me, my man. Right. Cheers, Paddy. Cheers. Thank you, Vicky. All right, here we go. Mohammed. Let's have a look. Cutting down calories could mean different things to different people based on culture, weather. For instance, South India, rice is a staple diet. Is there a universal low-calorie diet? There's not a universal. The question doesn't actually make sense entirely, Mohammed. Is there a universal low-calorie diet? Well, a low-calorie diet is a low-calorie diet universally. So there's not necessarily a universal low-calorie diet. Like if someone eats 1,200 calories, it's low, whether it's in India or in the UK or in China or in North America. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. 1,200 calories is 1,200 calories. So that would be considered fairly low calorie. So if you could elaborate a little bit more, we could go into that. But thanks for that, Mohammed. Appreciate that. Okay. What have we got here? Arta. Okay. Oh, the metabolic or metabolism diet, a diet that focuses on eating specific foods in order to boost metabolism. Yes. Ignore it. If it's called a fancy name and someone in Hollywood's doing it, I'd pretty much ignore it. Look, there's no foods that actually boost the metabolism as such. There are foods that are more expensive in the body, which means when they come in, they'll be worth slightly more going out. And that's what we call the thermic effect of food. So all foods that we will actually increase metabolism, but some foods are worth a little bit more than others. Like protein has got a thermic effect of food for about 30%. So 30% of the calories you take from protein will actually be used in digestion and elimination. Carbs are about 15 to 20%, fats only 1 to 3%. So certain foods would have a slightly different outcome if that's what you mean in terms of boosting metabolism. But it's metabolism diet, there's not actual foods. I mean, you could say, well, if I eat protein all day long, I'm going to burn more body fat. That's not actually the case because ultimately total calories will determine whether you lose fat or gain muscle or gain fat. And thermic effect of food is probably only accounts for about 10% of calories anyway. So although it's an important factor, it's not the be all and end all. Hey, Chad, I'm going to put you up. He hasn't got a question, but he says, hey, Gav. Hello, mate. Book that call. Let's get on the phone. Let's sort it out. Well, let's get on Zoom. Hope to speak to you soon, mate. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Vinay. Hope I pronounced your name right. LinkedIn user, what is your preferred style of encouragement? LinkedIn user, I like to use either a blunt instrument or a whip. That really motivates my clients. Like if they're just not pulling their weight, if they're just like not following any instructions, if you whip a client really, really hard, they just tend to get moving. LinkedIn user, I'm joking, of course. Preferred style of encouragement, I would say, come on, mate, you can do it. You could elaborate a little bit more, and I will answer that question. Arta, please is saying, please convince my wife. What about the metabolic diet or the metabolism diet? Get to watch this LinkedIn Live, or tell her to drop me a message. But yeah, look, here's the thing. If a diet's got a special name and Hollywood's doing it, then you need to think, it's probably not the best diet to be on. The diet that I give to my clients, there's no name. It's food. You've all got a diet. If you've got body fat to lose, you're probably eating too many calories. Simple as that. I say probably. There's no probably about it. You definitely are eating too many calories. If you've got body fat to lose and you want to lose it, you're consuming more than you're burning. So we just need to maybe play around with the macros to a certain extent, but there's no name for that diet as such. All right. Anyone else? Right. If you're just joining us, guys, it's going to be these lives are going to be every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. British summertime, which is midday East Coast America, and 9 a.m. in the West Coast. If you're tuning in, drop a message into the chat. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you've got any questions. Okay, here we go. LinkedIn user, is that your name? I'm sure you haven't been called that by your parents. Gav, with lower back injury, sit-ups are out for me. I use a wheel to work the abs, but can you recommend some abdominal target exercise that's safe on the back? Awesome. Okay, stop doing sit-ups. Start with. They're bad exercise for your abs, and as you said, they hurt your lower back. The best thing to do for your abs, if you've got lower back injuries, would be some static stuff that doesn't involve the closing the angle of your spine. So you could do plank. You could do a plank where you're actually flat, you're keeping your back straight, keeping your core tight. That would be a great first start. You could, really depends on the injury, but I would definitely stay away from any sort of sit-ups where the foot is actually, where you hook the foot under to do the sit-ups. You actually end up switching on the hip flexors and not contracting the abs. So it feels like you're working the abs, but in reality, you're probably not. You're probably working more of the hip flexors. I would look at keeping the back straight. So maybe some planks. You could do some, again, it really depends on the injury. You could do some hanging leg raises where you're closing the gap there, but actually keeping the back straight. Where you hang from a bar and swing the legs up. That would work the abs and help the back. But it really depends. So if you can give me a little more of the problem, we can actually get down to what you need there. Alrighty, anyone else coming in? Appreciate all these questions, guys. I'm just going to go through this chat, see if I've missed any questions. Don't think I have. All right, Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Melanie's got a nice question for us. Melanie has got a flabby mum stomach. Rest of me in relatively good shape, eat well, etc. Looking for a great exercise that might be able to tighten the skin a bit. I know I'm never tying up, but any advice appreciated. Thanks. So I take it you've had kids, Melanie. How many kids have you had? I'm not going to profess to be an expert in this, but I think I know what you're talking about. I know that after you've had a couple of babies, you get that little pouch there that's very hard to get rid of. it's very hard to get rid of, but there are certain exercises that can help strengthen that whole area and tone that area up. And I hate using the word tone, but a lot of ladies like to use that. Will burn body fat and strengthen that area. But I'm not going to be an expert. I'm not an expert in postnatal training, but I can certainly put you in touch with a lady that is. So drop me a message, Melanie, and I will put you in touch with the relevant person. Okay, hopefully that's helped. It was a jumbo one, super stretched out in the stomach. Yeah, so the abs actually come apart, and there is ways to actually get them put back together again. That's a phrase that very, very badly. As I said, I'm not an expert in that at all. I'm not even a profess to. Yeah, 12 years ago, it's not impossible, but you need to get working on it now. So drop me a private message if that's okay, and I'll put you in touch with someone that knows this very, very well. I definitely don't. Any more for any more? How heavy was your baby, by the way, Mel? Just out of interest. Not that it's got any relevance to these to the live, but interested to know. All right, anyone else coming in with the questions? We've got a couple of people joining us. If you're new to the live, drop your name, tell me where you're from. Got any questions, let me know. Anything on fitness, fat loss, mindset, anything that's just not working. 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Yes. 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Big. I was 9.5 pounds, apparently. It's got to be painful. Got to be painful. Frank. Looks like Frank can help with that, Melanie. Okay, any questions I've missed here? Catching up. Ooh. All right, guys. So look, what I would say to some of you, if you're looking to lose body fat, the first thing we want to start with is we need to know how much food you've got coming in. You want to start tracking your calories. That would be the first thing we want to look at. So most people are very confused about how, weight loss and fat loss works. It really does come down to the food that you're taking in. Now, I'll be honest, 10, 15 years ago, even 20 years ago, back in, early 2000s, late 90s, the only advice we had was from the bodybuilder mags. So we got a lot of the nutritional advice from bodybuilders, probably the worst people to actually ask about that, because they've got great genetics, and two, they're using drugs. But things have come on since then, and we know exactly how fat loss works. So you've probably all heard me talking about a calorie deficit at some point. And the calorie deficit is where you're burning more calories than you're taking in. So we need to absolutely know how many calories you're taking in. Now, a lot of people say, well, do I always have to track my calories? The answer is no, but it's a great place to start. All right, okay, cool. Some questions coming in. Someone has said, does it matter what you eat just before you work out? The answer is not really. Not really. But I would probably not eat within an hour and a half of the workout to avoid feeling bloated or having that food repeat. But it doesn't really. What matters is what you eat over the whole day. So, you're probably going to want a reasonably healthy meal. When I say healthy, good quality foods leading up to your workouts. And to be fair, it doesn't actually make any difference. I'm going to backtrack on what I said. Like, would you want to be having a burger and a big plate of chips before you did a workout? Probably not. But would it make any difference to your fat loss? If you're in a calorie deficit, it won't. If you're in a surplus, you're going to get fat whether you eat a bowl of porridge before a workout. But it really depends. If you'd want to be worried about the fuel of your workouts, if someone was maybe involved with endurance sports, if they're running, 10K or half marathon or a marathon or triathlon or any type of long endurance, anything over an hour and a half, 2 hours, possibly you want to look at the fuel you were taking in. But if it's a normal gym workout or going for a jog or going on a bike, just eat your normal food, which would be the healthy food that you would be having at any normal time. So that's not going to make any difference, really. Missy Bright is on. Cool. Joined. Missy's question is joined late. Sorry, I've covered. Any thoughts on rebounding? It hasn't been covered. And rebounding is brilliant. Rebounding is fantastic. Now, I've never actually done rebounding, but I know about this from Tony Robbins and my good friend, Mr. Luke Granger, who is going to be joining us on the show in either next week or the week after, is a massive fan of rebounding. He gets on his little trampoline, he's bouncing up and down. Now, if anyone that is not sure rebounding, just Google rebounding. But the benefits of rebounding are fantastic. It's fantastic for draining the lymphatic system. So yes, amazing. Great start to the day. Missy, do you do it every day, or are you a fan of it or thinking of doing it? I personally can't comment. I haven't done it myself, but I know that it is very, very effective. It's just not something I've used in my routine. All right. Here we've got Brock has asked, besides tape to the mouth, how do you stop yourself from grazing the fridge? You could padlock the fridge. You could tape up your mouth, as you suggested. They would be the best solutions. Or learn some self-discipline, son. Pull your finger out. Stop messing around. Stop being a dick. I'm only joking. Brock, the answer is, you know the answer. Okay. Oh, Tim, you cheeky little monkey. What's your thoughts on veganism? Now, okay, this is great. I can talk on this all day long. Look. Thoughts on veganism, you bugger. Right. I've got nothing against vegans. Got nothing against vegans. I take the piss out of vegans because it's funny and it winds them up. But I don't actually have a problem with them. In fact, the truth be known, I actually admire the fact that they care about animals and sentient beings, as they call them. And look, here's the truth. We know if you're a meat eater or fish or any type of animal products, the industries around killing animals are pretty terrible. They're awful. They need to change. I know that. We all know that. It's barbaric. It is barbaric. But the reality is, and people say, well, why don't you just not eat meat? Here's the truth. I fucking like eating meat. I like eating meat. And do I care enough about the whole system? No. Tim, thanks for actually pushing me on this. But as vegans, I've got no problem with someone that wants to do what I have chosen not to do. Now, I'm sorry if you listen to that and you're a vegan, you think I'm a bad person, but I would think that most of the people that eat meat would agree with me that when it comes down to it, they're thinking, well, I like meat, and me not eating meat, is that going to make a difference? Reality is, if we all decided not to eat meat, it would make a difference. But I'm 47 years old. I'm probably here for another 45 years if I'm really lucky. I eat meat. I'm sorry I don't care enough about it. I would love to see the industry change. And is there a nice way to kill animals for food? I don't know. Tim, you little bugger, for asking me that. I could have just said I wasn't going to answer that, but it's the truth. It's the truth. The industry is awful. Look, we could be worse. We could be like the Chinese that eat bloody dogs. Now, there's something that's barbaric. Now, okay, now we're talking about that. I guess the reality is, because I haven't had a cow or a sheep or a goat or a duck as a pet, I've got no real feelings for it. That's the disconnect, I think. Well, not I think, I know. Because when I see those dog videos where they're literally clubbing these dogs and skinning them alive and throwing them in boiling pots, I think, you barbaric bastards, how could you do that to a pet that we love? But I've got nothing against the Chinese. That's their culture. They like to eat dogs. But they're exactly right. Just because we've got, as Westerns, have got feelings for household pets, what about all the, if some cultures start eating cats, do some cultures eat cats? I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult. Okay, look, Brock has said something. Brock has chimed in. If I stop eating meat and animals still dies, doesn't make me guiltless for killing animals to stop. Yeah. Yeah. What are you saying, that we think we should not eat animals, Brock? What's your stance on that? But Tim, you're a little bugger. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. But look, here's the thing. If you're a vegan, I actually respect you. I actually respect your morals on the fact that you've taken a stance and chosen to not eat animals or use animal products. Okay. Absolutely, Gav. My vegan friends remind me often of the industry as I enjoy my porterhouse. Look, I'm exactly the same. The reality, when it comes down to it, I care, but I don't care enough. If that makes me a bad person, then sue me. What can I say? And if most meat eaters, if they're honest, in fact, all meat eaters must think the same. Otherwise, they wouldn't eat meat. We all know that the industry is terrible, but I guess it's like out of sight, out of mind. What about hunting? I know Joe Rogan says that hunting and actually shooting a deer and making that kill and then taking the animal and cutting it up and eating that meat, some people say that's more cruel, but is it? I don't know. It's difficult. It's always going to cause problems. But, Christian Jones says he's watching me. I'm going to pop his comment up. Hello, mate. I'm watching you too. So look, my stance on veganism. Okay, what I do have a problem with is preachy vegans. Look, I don't go around telling people to eat meat. So why preach at me telling me to not eat meat? And when you get on in like a comment online and they start spouting off at, killing all the animals and how could we do this? And that's what I have a problem with. That's kind of why I make jokes of it. And you could argue, and I don't know the real stats, but I'm sure that to plant vegetables and fruits, vegetables, and all the stuff that you can eat being a vegan, I'm sure that it must kill animals in clearing the land to do that. I don't know the actual stats, but is killing bugs and insects and rats and voles and mice, small little animals that are on the land side, on the in the land, on the ground, is that any different to killing sheep, cows, and all the things that we use for meat? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer to that. But at least it's got me talking about things. Okay. I'm waiting for the hate from the vegans. I've got nothing against you. Got nothing against you. Nothing at all. In fact, I admire what you believe in, what you stand for. Just keep that to yourself. Don't try and... It's like I've got nothing against anyone that's into religion. Nothing. This is a sensitive subject. I've got nothing. If you're a Christian or a Hindu or a Buddhist or Scientologist, I don't care what you do, what you're into. If you knock on my door and try and get me to convert, I'm not going to have anything to say. I won't have anything bad to say to you, but it's just not my bag. You do you, I'll do me. I'm quite happy for anyone to be anything they want to be in this world. You can be into anything and like anything, as long as you're not harming people and doing wrong by people. I don't care what you do. Tim, are you a vegan? Tim has said, thanks for your honesty. Are you a vegan? If you're still there, let me know. So to go back to that, I've got no problems with vegans whatsoever, and I joke about them in my videos because it winds them up. I know that people then think I've got this problem with vegans, and I don't. I admire it. It's just not for me. Okay, Mohammed has said, on universal low-calorie food, dietitians in general recommend oats, quinoa, and millets in the diet to lose weight, but our staple food is rice. Is rice bad for weight loss? Can we still lose weight eating rice? I'm confused as to why some... you can absolutely lose weight eating rice, Mohammed. So dietitians in India, if they're saying you can only lose weight by eating oats, quinoa, and millets, they're wrong, because it doesn't matter what you eat. You have to be in a calorie deficit. I eat rice every day. I tell my clients to eat rice. If you like eating rice, absolutely have rice. Same with bread. A lot of people have got this idea that eating bread is going to cause them to gain weight. It doesn't. Bread's a staple part of many cultures' diets. But absolutely, Mohammed, go ahead and eat rice, but control your overall calories. So dietitians actually saying that you can only lose weight by eating oats, quinoa, and millets. Never heard of that one. But the rest of the question didn't show it all there. Sorry. I'm going to read it off the board there. I'm confused as to why some grains are good for weight loss and some aren't. The truth is, Mohammed, it makes no difference. Anyone that says that certain grains are good for weight loss and certain other ones aren't, that's bullshit. Complete bullshit. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. All right, Tim has said he isn't a vegan. He just wanted to wind me up. Right, any more? We've been on 40 minutes. I've enjoyed this LinkedIn Live. Anyone else joining us? Put any final questions? If not, we're going to wrap. We're going to wrap in 1 minute. I know you're winding me up, Tim. I know you were winding me up, but you weren't winding me up. It actually got me to talk about an important topic. Okay. LinkedIn user has said, from a calorie standpoint, Gav, before adjusting for a calorie deficit, what is the current calorie recommendation for an adult male? That's like saying, how long is a piece of string? It really depends on the size of the person, the amount of muscle they've got, the amount of body fat they've got, their goal, how much weight they're trying to lose, how much exercise they're going to be doing, so how many calories they're going to burn. So look, government guidelines say adult male should be eating 2,500 calories, but I would take that with a pinch of salt. I don't know what they consider an average male. I'm probably about average in terms of height and weight, maybe a bit below average, unfortunately. 5'8" and 78 kilos at the moment, so just over 12 stone, 12 and a bit stone. That's about average, I think. But 2,500 calories for me, I'd be fat. I eat about 2,000 calories a day, and I work out most days. For me, a deficit, if I go around about 1,700, 1,800, I'm quite hungry, but I start to get in good shape. So the answer is, we need a bit more specifics. We need to know not necessarily height, but weight, how much body fat someone's carrying, muscle, their goal, and then we can work out the targets. So I can't really answer what that deficit should be. Hopefully that answered that question. No worries, Mohammed. Cheers, Tim. Thanks for chiming in. Okay, 44 minutes. I'm going to give it 1 more minute. No one else comes in. I know someone is still on Facebook. All right, just to let you know, if you're catching this now, these lives are going to be every Wednesday, 5 p.m. British Summer Time. Every single Wednesday. Next week, I'm going to have a guest. Got a couple of weeks where it's just me. Then I've got more guests. It's going to be a mixture of me on my own, and I'm going to be bringing different guests in that are into fitness. They're going to share their take on a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today. If you've got any specific questions, please come to the live, ask me on anything. Fitness, fat loss, mindset, veganism, anything in between. You know me. If you've seen me on any social media, you know I'll tell it exactly how I feel. I'll give you my opinion, whether you like it or not. Some people will enjoy that. Some people will think I'm a dick, and that's cool. That you can't be liked by everyone, but I will give you the truth, my honest opinion. Might not always be correct. A lot of the time it will be, but it won't always be correct. You know, I'll hold my hand up and say, like, I don't know this. I don't know the answer to this. And I'll always tell you, I won't try and bullshit you. I will never bullshit you. I'll give you the truth and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer those questions, I'll pass you on to a relevant expert that can. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will see you next week, same time, 5 p.m. Wednesday evening on the next live. Take care.
See, I like to be taken for dinner and drinks first before you slip your hands into my knicker. Call me old-fashioned. I'm kind of a big deal. Sake.